What's happening, YouTube? It's Sean from GMDRS TV, and let's cook some steaks. I crave steaks every once in a while, but a lot of times weather, schedule, other things aren't cooperating. Today we're gonna make steaks that are absolutely phenomenal, and on the day you want it, it is so ridiculously easy to make a delicious, perfect steak. Like most other dudes, I'm a ribeye guy. I get these from my local butcher. First step is really basic. Just season them with 3 simple things: salt, pepper, garlic powder. Let's do it. It should look something like this when you're done. Now go ahead and put your seasoned steaks into a vacuum bag. Once you get them all vacuum packed, I want to put them in the fridge overnight to marinate. So these steaks have now been in my refrigerator basically for 24 hours. And at that point they've marinated, in particular under vacuum. It gets very, very efficient. What I'm gonna do next is the weirdest part. I wanna take them out of the fridge and put them into the freezer. Don't mind my crazy fridge. All right, so we're out in the garage where the freezer is at. This is where the magic happens. Look at all those tuna bellies. Holy crap. All right, so okay, we got Lao, we got tuna bellies, we got rockfish, and now we got ourselves a big pile of ribeyes as well. Why am I doing that? You'll see. This is basically like a fantastic version of meal prepping, but for ribeyes. This way, if you do this, anytime you have a whim for a phenomenal steak, it is literally just minutes of effort for an incredible dinner. It has been a minute since I put my ribeyes in the freezer in preparation for a day like today. Kind of knew today was gonna suck, so I planned a little food hug for myself. I put the ribeye in the sous vide this morning around 9, totally frozen at 128 degrees. Then I fired up Pump Playlist on the phone. Opened up a quality bottle of wine. Made myself a Caesar. Got some herbs from the garden for the steak that we'll have later on. Then I prepped a quick add of portobellos in the cast iron. While that might seem like a lot of all that, literally took me like less than 15 minutes. And now it is ready for the show. First thing I'm gonna do is open my sous vide bag and pat my steak dry. And at the same time, I'm going to use the juice that's in that bag, put it in with the portobellos here, and that will boost it tremendously. So let's go. Oh yeah. We're gonna let that reduce a second while the pan gets smoking hot. It's just me, so I can be reckless and germy. All right, I'm setting Big Papa to high. You really want this pan to be smoking hot. So I'm gonna really wait till we get to the actual smoke point of this oil. So I'm just gonna stand back and wait for it to just start to smoke. So to finish off this steak, I'm gonna have a few things ready to go. I got some rosemary from the garden, some parsley from the garden, some fresh garlic, and a little pat of butter. And we were gonna transform this really hideous looking sous vide steak, which just looks like a dead piece of yuck at the moment, into really one of the best steaks you've ever had. All right, so you can now see this pan is literally smoking hot. The whole trick with doing one of these is just don't fuck with it. You really want to leave it in there and get a good hard sear. You cannot overcook it. You'd have to leave it in there for a very long time. It will just take like 2 minutes for this just to get amazing caramelization on the surface. But if you keep looking at it and flipping it, it will never get there, so just leave it alone. The mushrooms have cooked down to just a thick, gooey, delicious OMG. Steak is searing its brains out. You need a good hood for this because this will produce a lot of smoke. So now this steak is seared on one side most of the way. I'm going to throw in my aromatics and butter. Now you have to baste it. Holy crap, that looks good. All right, the heat is off, steak is done, and holy moly. That thing looks phenomenal. All right, I'm gonna let it sit for 1 second, but that pan is ripping hot, so we'll continue to cook. So I'm not gonna let it rest at all. I wanna take it out and put it on my plate, which is just gonna be the cutting board, and eat this bad boy. All right, let's cut this baby open and see what we got. Oh my God, that is so good. Man, that is so good. This steak is cooked perfect. Mushrooms, so flavorful. And this Tumi Pinot, it ain't bad either. All right, so I think total prep time from like starting my mushrooms to putting this in my face was about 20 minutes. I know it's not like instant, but you would pay at least 80 bucks for a bone-in ribeye this big at a restaurant, and it would not be this delicious. So hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna sit down and really hunker down on this beautiful steak while it's at its peak. And thanks for watching. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up and maybe think about subscribing. And that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching.